Hey guys, Steve here from the AdventureRx, where we are creating a new normal for life with diabetes, and we're living on the road, pursuing adventure, climbing, and negotiating the ins and outs of living in a tiny home. And today, in this episode, we're going to be talking about our commute from the East Coast back out to the West Coast, because we are bi-coastal. That's part of how we make this lifestyle work. We spend some time on the East Coast, spend some time on the West Coast, and now we're back here in Las Vegas, and we're getting ready to get back in the trailer and get back on the road.
Gentlemen, JetBlue Airways, welcome to Las Vegas. Local time is 10:07.
I was recently told in one of the comments to my videos that I don't smile enough, and I'm going to eventually, but it's rough flying from east to west, a lot harder than it is when we go back out to Boston. The commute's a lot rougher, I feel like. We made it this far now, we just got to get picked up. Chris Pittman is going to meet us here in a few minutes.
Dude, the thing that really was annoying is I got so much grief for climbing with two broken arms, and it's like, really, people, do you think if it was a problem I would climb with two broken arms, really? Basically, I went climbing where I often climb, and it's all about footwork. You have to use very little arms, okay? So when I fell, of course, I protected my head and my hands.
Yeah.
Whoa, shit. I fell in that area like 2 days prior. Because if I fractured it through the middle of like a tarsus, which is an ankle bone,
right,
or some way through the tibia like that, it would hurt like hell if I stood on it. And it hurt a lot, but it actually would be unstable. Because there would be shifting in the bone as I waited, and that's obviously not really good, but it seemed really stable. So I climbed it with a broken leg. No problem, right? And then I went to the other side and just rappelled down, and that was it for the day.
I'm glad it wasn't your head, right? Like that would have been a lot worse.
The head's really bad. Protecting the head is first, protecting the arms is second, and then the other stuff is fluff, but still.
You see, the key to being able to make traveling and living on the road work is to have good friends. There he is.
This is the new comfort cover for that one.
Today we are back in Las Vegas, and I don't know if that was too close. It was a little bit scary. We flew in last night and realized that we left our trailer here with our friends, and one of the friends managed to put the keys in a different place than what we were expecting them to be in. The good news is we have the keys, and so we're just kind of getting transitioned back into the trailer, and then we're going to be heading out west to Joshua Tree. Okay, let's see how everything kept in here while we were gone. So this is basically the configuration. We use a little bit of cargo netting here in between the benches to keep everything relatively secure. We actually had some issues with these cabinets coming open, and let me just tell you that having like quinoa and sprouted beans and almonds dumped all over the inside of the trailer while you're driving down the road, and then finding that when you pull over to stop and check, is really disconcerting, because you're not expecting the inside of your trailer to be completely wrecked. You come back here and like you want to see everything like carrying pretty nicely, and then you open the door and it looks like the last days of the Roman Empire here on the floor. But the good news is we used a dust devil. We have a little dust devil that we keep with us, and you can see it's pretty clean in here. There's not a lot of junk left. And then we have some of this stuff here that we just would normally keep in the car, but we transferred it in here so that we could load our stuff into the car for when we were flying back east, so that this way everything would be kind of contained. in here, and some of that stuff here on the floor too is like outdoor stuff. So anyways, I just used a little bit of packing tape here to secure some of the doors on the cupboards to keep everything from sliding around, and so far that has worked pretty well. One of the things I've heard that might be useful to try is like the locks, like the baby locks for the doors, and install them on the cupboards in place of the packing tape, so that way everything stays shut and stays together. But in terms of all of our other gear, everything else seems to have, you know, stayed pretty solidly in place here, which I'm happy about. So in the next day or so, we're gonna kind of get the trailer livable again, which to me is like the hardest part. I kind of hate having to do that, because like once you make that transition and you're accustomed to living one way, then it's a lot harder, I feel like. And also coming back from the East Coast to the West, where you're losing time, you know, kind of a little bit out of it, a little dehydrated and all that stuff. But, you know, it's good because when we went back east, we brought back a lot of stuff. Getting rid of that, bringing it back and putting it at my mother-in-law's place, which she's kind enough to let us do, that went a long way to help. You know, the whole point of this lifestyle for us is that it really makes a big impact on our health, and specifically with type 1 diabetes, I notice the impact greatly between, you know, sitting around a lot versus having a lot of area to play in outside and just having activity built into normal life. Of course, right now we're in Las Vegas, and so it's sort of a trade-off a lot of times between whether or not we want to stay and spend more time with friends, or if we want to be in areas that are a little bit more wild. Because Las Vegas isn't exactly the most wild place that you could be in, but it's awesome to spend time with Pittman because he's super fun, and there actually is really good climbing pretty close to here. So after Joshua Tree, we're probably going to come back here to Vegas for a little while, spend some time here with Pittman, spend some time climbing. Probably sometime around the middle of the month, we're going to head back to Zion, Springdale area, back to Chris's, park up there, and then hopefully get some big wall climbing projects going and do some stuff that's going to be pretty exciting. So one thing that I don't think I mentioned earlier that like I'm kind of proud of, okay, is I backed this trailer up here. It didn't have the coffee cup on there, to be fair, when I backed it up. It's impressive, not necessarily because it's such a great job of backing up, but more because I am not good at backing things up, or at least I don't think that I am. So squeeze that in pretty tight there next to the bushes and in a cul-de-sac for like my third time driving the trailer. I'm pretty happy about that. On literally the very first day that I picked up the trailer, I got 5 minutes down the road from the dealership and I immediately took a wrong turn, and it was like snowy and there was no place to turn around, and I was kind of freaking out, and I had to learn how to make a 3-point turn with the trailer, which was not an easy thing to do on snowy, slushy roads in Minnesota when I picked the trailer up. So I feel like I'm making a lot of progress in terms of backing up the trailer, and maybe that's something I'll make a video about at some point. Up. Lilo, did you miss the trailer? Up. You want to come up? Up. Up. Did you miss being in the trailer? The trailer. Did you miss being in the trailer? No. No? Okay. Well. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. That's right. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Good night. Good night. See you tomorrow. Out in Joshua Tree. Bye-bye. 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 For more tiny home living, traveling, and adventure, make sure to subscribe to this channel. We are creating a new normal for life with diabetes, and we want you to join us.